Welcome back, all you amazing people out there. So today we're going to get into some culture shocks. Americans having culture shocks when they go to Europe. We're going to go ahead and dive right into it. With that being said, what's smoking on my dragons? Divine righteous, almighty greats over achieving, never slacking. And we're flying back over to Europe. Let's hop in. Let's see what these culture shocks are about.
Things Americans find weird in a European apartment. A washing machine in the bathroom, sometimes inches from the toilet. And a dryer? You mean drying rack? Doors with enough locks to secure Fort Knox, and keyholes that need a master's in key turning. Rolling shutters with a crank, so you can turn your living room into Dracula's blackout dungeon. And of course, needing travel adapters. Because every time I plug something in, I brace for sparks. Things Americans find weird in a European apartment.
Okay. Let's talk about that. I definitely find it very different for the washing machine in the bathroom. Hold on.
A washing machine in the bathroom, sometimes inches from.
Wow. Yeah, that's different. That is completely different. I want to say I've seen that. I've been in a. Have I been in a bathroom before where there's a washing machine? I might have. But it's very rare. That close to the toilet is kind of crazy for sure.
The toilet. And a dryer? You mean drying rack? Doors with enough locks to secure Fort Knox, and keyholes that need a master's in key turning.
Wow. I like the curtains, right? I like that. I like to definitely be in some darkness. I like to feel like I'm in a cave at times. So I like that. The keys to the door, as long as once you get used to it, I mean, you can't be mad at safety, right? Keep the people safe, especially with how crazy the world, I'm spitting and stuff, but especially with how crazy the world is today, Get them locks.
I'm an American who moved to Belgium, and it is amazing, truly, how comfortable Europeans are with shitting on my country, my culture, and the people of my country. Superiority complex is crazy sometimes. I want to talk about it, especially because it would not be accepted towards any other country. But
before he even dives in, I will admit I have had some comments where I felt a certain superiority complex, where it was just kind of like every video was like just bashing Americans to a point where I'm like, okay, this is starting to feel like hatred. I can't sit here and say I haven't felt that. I've met a lot of amazing people throughout my European reactions for sure. People who support this channel, people who have signed up for memberships and left money in the super things. So I definitely love those people, and majority of people have been nice, but that superiority complex is out there. And same goes with Americans for sure. We all know Americans be having a superiority complex.
the US, it's fine, it's okay. People come up to me, make jokes about Americans are so fat, and they don't know geography, and their schooling is shit, the education is shit, people are really dumb, they're not hardworking, they're pretty lazy. And it's really funny because the majority of those people have never been to the US, and if they have, clock it, they've been to New York, Miami, or LA, and generalize an entire country with nearly 400 million people. The majority of these people are wearing all American brands, consuming all American artists, and streaming all American shows and movies. So what is it? You like it when it entertains you, but then also want to actively shit on it. Please make it make sense. Politically, my country's on fire right now, actually burning to the ground. So if you want to talk about politics all day, every day, I'm here to entertain that and actually laugh at the jokes and agree with you because it's embarrassing. What's happening is devastating. But when it comes to the people, the culture, which they claim we don't have culture, and the tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, of beautiful, hardworking, and very talented Americans, I feel kind of a duty to defend because
I understand exactly where he's coming from. I be feeling that too, as far as, like I said, certain comments where it's like, all right, you hear what I'm saying? All right, now you kind of, you're going a little too hard there, buddy. There's a lot of beautiful Americans out here. A lot of beautiful Americans. Don't let media fool you. Don't let even these YouTube videos where people go around interviewing people, don't let them fool you either, because I've heard that a lot of them purposely cut out certain videos. Actually, that happened to me when I was on a college campus, Binghamton University. There was a hidden camera, and there was a dwarf. It was me and my friend. He came up to me and my friend and like, oh, he had this muscle shirt on. He's like, you want to do push-ups? I'm like, all right. So we did push-ups, and I did the diamonds, and I just kept going, kept going. He got tired. He stopped. And then he pointed at the camera. It was a hidden camera, and he's like, look, this is for some big like comedy channel. My boy remembers. They have like 19 million subscribers, some like prank channel. And the goal was for the dwarf to out push up me, which, not to brag, but it would have been very hard to do, right? So that was the goal, and he didn't succeed. So they told us, yeah, check out our channel. This episode's gonna pop up, such and such. So they put the episode up, but that whole scene was cut out. I was never put in there. None of that was. They only put what they wanted to put in there. So imagine people because that's a 19 million subscribers. That's a gigantic, massive channel. But imagine the news and all these other people and they control what they want you to see. So I would say don't spend your energy hating anybody, right?
I just think it's kind of bullshit. Like, it's just kind of bullshit. And it's giving very close-minded and dense. But it's funny because if I meet someone new, not always, but sometimes, it's when they hear that I'm American, they feel so comfortable going right into all of the criticisms, which is super unfortunate because, for example, my girlfriend, when she comes to the US, people are literally praising. They love the fact that she's from Belgium, the fact that she's from Europe. They think it's actually incredible, and they want to learn more, and they're asking questions, and they think that it's so amazing, like learning about a different culture. For those of you who don't know, we have culture. We have a lot of it. The country is literally built off of immigrants, so we have so much unique, different ethnic cultures, African American culture, music, the food there, insane. And I get it. Just say you haven't like traveled without saying you haven't traveled to the US properly. I would encourage you to go to more than just the touristy cities, and you'll really experience the culture and see how nice American people are, how well they can host you, how good the food is. I am all for giving criticism to my country in terms of healthcare. It's shit. Our political system, it's shit. And to our current president, fuck him. But when it comes to the actual beauty of growing up American, I need to talk about it. My experience was incredible. I literally, when I tell my girlfriend's friends, who are very nice by the way, they're always super intrigued that I had that kind of like High School Musical Glee experience of being in theater and then being in drama club, but then being on the football team and then going to the pep assemblies and the rallies on Fridays for the Friday night lights, and being in photography class, but then also being in a pottery class. That was my experience, and I loved the way I grew up. I love being American, not in the sense of the political ties that come with it, but I love the simplicity of how I grew up. If you're watching this and you have caught yourself saying some of these things, I would encourage you to refrain. I would encourage you to do your research, actually experience the culture, form your own opinions, and think before you say. They have effects, and actually just is not a good look on you in general because, again, kind of giving closed-minded and dense. So to conclude, no, you are not better or superior because you're European. We don't have control over our politics. Well, at least I don't, because I didn't vote for the man, and neither did a large majority of the country. So please be kind and save the judgments for your head.
I actually really respect what he said there. His name's No, This is Patrick on TikTok. And I feel like when people tend to generalize, it is like, it does give, like he said, closed-minded, like a lack of intelligence there. I mean, just because a certain place may piss me off, because their government is pissing me off, and in the media it may show a lot of people from that area that are ignorant does not mean that I'm going to disrespect that place as a whole and generalize everybody, especially a place as massive as America, where people clearly can see there's such a divide with the way people think as far as politics and just everything. Like he said, it's such a boiling pot. So many cultures came here, so much things mixed, so much. It's just so much going on to where you definitely shouldn't be like this big hater. Like, chill. That's not doing nothing for the world. Someone said Americans are so nice, so friendly, and so diverse. American culture is so globalized that people fail to realize it for what it is. Amazing comment, Chloe. Someone said the casual xenophobia is insane. And someone said, you know how white people absorb black culture without giving credit to black people, and it eventually gets forgotten that this specific part of our general American culture actually came from black Americans. Same thing with Europe. They consume so much of our culture that it's become a part of their general culture, and they've forgotten where it came from because it's so deeply embedded in their 2 day life. Now I'm sure a lot of my Europeans ain't gonna like that comment too much. Hey, it goes both ways, like, especially just knowing, like, when I see so much, like, places like New England and just so many places that was influenced by Europe, right? But once again, so much cultures came to America, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of American influence everywhere. Like, I mean, if you deny that, then hey, I guess you're right in your world. I don't do the debates with people.
Hey, so I just wanted to hop on here since I'm back home, and talk about some of the culture shock experiences that I had in Europe. Um, and none of these bothered me, so I don't want anyone to go into this thinking that I'm being like xenophobic or, hating on their culture in any ways if you're part of that culture. Not even close. I think that all cultures are unique and some of them just don't vibe with other people, but I generally feel at home pretty much anywhere I go, with some exceptions in the US, but I'll get to that at some other point. But yeah, anyways, with no further ado, some things that really shocked me. I had been getting videos about the way that people will kind of assess you when you're in Germany. That actually did happen. But here's the thing that was really cool about Germany. So they would give me that stare that people were telling me about, right? And it was a little judgmental, whatever, or it looked that way. Can't say if it was or not. Probably because I'm like mid-size or plus size. That's cool. But the thing about Germany is they would do that, but then they would walk up to me and start speaking in German automatically. So, like, I guess I fit in just enough for them to be like, oh, maybe. Okay, let's try it. And to which I responded as well as I possibly could. I don't speak a lot of German, so I tried. As I do in any country I visit. I do try. So yeah, that was fun. The other thing that was weird is that when we were sitting down in Ireland and we got the menu, I expected to be familiar with some of the foods on the menu, right? And yes, my voice is horrible. I've had bronchitis and everything. So sorry. So yeah, I sat down to look at the menu and I didn't recognize anything on it. And coming from sort of the Appalachian region in the Midwest, I assumed that I was like immersed enough in Irish culture, generally speaking, to be familiar with the foods. But I was like, what the fuck is a boxty? Like, what's a Fisher's pie? Or it was something like that. Like, nothing was really familiar except for like the Irish breakfast and the fish and chips. I
She sounded like she had a heck of an experience out there in Europe.
honestly didn't even know what a sticky toffee pudding is. I'm sorry. I know that's really ignorant. I know now, and I know that it's my favorite dessert that I've ever had. So thank you. I don't know if that's more of a British thing originally or Irish, but it's fucking delicious. So thank you all over there for that. Let's see. The other thing is, like, I think I even made a video about this. I expected to be like really culture shocked by Scandinavian countries. But, you know, it just felt so low pressure and so introverted, and like everyone kept to themselves, and it definitely satisfied like a piece of my autism. My ADHD, not so much, but I really loved that I could just walk in there, and I really felt like I could be myself. I could be really low key, and I didn't have to people please, entertain anyone, or anything like that. But about Scandinavia, it was really weird to me to be like pretty much the only person walking around that had some pigment to my hair and my eyes, as well as being like about a foot shorter than a lot of the women that I saw. And I'm 5'6". I'm not exactly short by American standards, right? So that was wild to me. The men were like 7 feet, and they almost all had really blonde hair and blue eyes. They're all beautiful people, but it was a weird feeling to be white and to feel out of place as a white person, which is totally fine.
I'm always gonna hate how much us Americans black and white stuff. But man, someone said the point you made about Irish food is so interesting, because I think this is one of the reasons why Europeans hate it when Americans say I'm 20% Irish, because they may think they know Irish culture, but the actual Irish culture can still be vastly different from what they believe. Someone else said old people in Germany stare a lot. It has nothing to do with you being plus sized. So yeah, what did I do here? They're definitely letting her know what's up there. Yeah, she definitely had a lot of experiences out there in Europe.
Dating in Europe is definitely different from dating in the States.
So this is one of the biggest culture shocks since moving abroad to Europe, or specifically Norway. Or I'm not sure if it's a culture shock.
Hold on real quick. I thought I heard something else playing in the back. Like 2 videos at once, but now we're good.
But it definitely was a huge shock to me since moving here. What? So if you guys don't know, I conquered one of the hardest things it is to conquer as an American in Norway, and I got a job. Okay, guys. Hi. But yes, I got a job here in Norway, but I didn't know getting paid was so much different here in Norway than it is back home in the United States. So back home in the USA, it's very normal to get paid weekly. So every Friday you get paid, and that's very normal. The other form of payment that's very normal when you have a job is to get paid bi-weekly, which is every 2 weeks, and that's how I got paid back home, which that felt like a long time to me. I had a lot of friends getting paid weekly, and I got paid weekly at a job once before, and I love weekly pay. But 2 weeks was like, dang, bro, like it took a while. But here in Norway,
2 weeks pay can make it feel like you working for free sometime, for sure. Been there, done that.
they get paid once a month. So for example, I get paid on the 12th of every month. So you get paid on the 12th, and you have to wait till the next 12th to get paid. But I don't want to speak for everybody. It might be different. A lot of people in Norway might get paid differently every 2 weeks, every week. I don't know. And in America, people might get paid once a month too. I don't know. But I just know that a majority of jobs and a majority of people, they get paid once a month. So I already know that's what most Norwegians are used to. But imagine someone like me coming from the USA, where even getting paid once every 2 weeks feels like forever. Imagine getting paid once a month when you go from that. But what I will say is it teaches you how to manage your money, because you got to pay your bills and stuff like that and make it stretch until the next month. And that really could be difficult for a lot of people, especially when you're used to getting paid every week or every 2 weeks. I don't mind it. It does feel like an eternity between paychecks, but it also is nice getting a bigger paycheck. So this is one of the biggest.
It definitely depends on what type of person you are, how you spend your budget. But yeah, a month is kind of crazy. Yeah, coming from an American that would be used to, any jobs would be like weekly or every 2 weeks longest, and I mean that would be crazy. Someone said, "What? I think it's so strange to get paid every week." He said, he responded and said, "That's exactly how we feel about once a month. It's really just what you're used to." 100%. It's what you're used to and how you were raised, really. What's the norm for your environment. Isn't this because in the U.S. you can lose your job at any moment? A lot of EU employees can't be fired without serious reason, and they have to announce it far in advance so you don't lose your income quick. That makes a lot of sense there. Someone said, I'm Swedish, get paid 25th every month, pay all my bills. Pay all my monthly bills between day 25 to the 31st, to the 25th to the 31st. The money left is what I have to use / save until next payment. Being paid once a week would be weird. Dang, it is crazy how different we are as a society. Just how we do things. Like, to think for other people, getting paid weekly would be weird. But, in the U.S., it's such a fast lifestyle. As far as just even spending, it's so much consumers out here. Like, people are always running to Walmarts, the Targets, the dollar stores, the fast food restaurants, and then the social life of going out with friends. Going to clubs and bars and all type of places, right? So a lot of money gets spent. There's a lot of consumers in America that just love to spend their money. So, and they love to have it and they love to spend it, and then they go make it again, get it, spend it. That's just the truth. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this video. We definitely gonna have a whole lot more coming, so do not worry. And with that being said, you let me know what your culture shocks is, whether you're from Europe and been to America and had culture shocks or vice versa. Let me know. Original link in the description. I was about to see, I'm so used to saying original link in the description. It was TikTok. There is no original link. But with that being said, everybody enjoy your day. Much love, yeah.